Right there. Start it here. We're recording. Hey, 3, 2, 1. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 679. I am Brian Kilby. With me this week, we have... Welcome back, Chris. You were on assignment last week. Hopefully the assignment went well.
I wish I knew something about Welcome Back, Cotter, so I could make a reference to that, because you saying Welcome Back, Chris made me think of Welcome Back, Cotter, even though I only know it from the episode title and seeing like 30 seconds of it referenced in some other TV show once.
Your dreams were your ticket out.
Yeah. I heard somebody's like ding ding sound.
That was Dawn.
Sorry, I was quieting the phone. I didn't realize it was.
At least it wasn't
Dawn,
like...
That's what pre-show is for, to like make sure all your stuff is not going to make noise. You
sorry.
Literally had half an hour to do this.
You
already.
have one
you
job,
have one
Don.
job.
Well, I'm sorry. I have people that actually want to engage with me for some damn reason.
So in
I don't know why.
pre-show, we were
Don,
talking about...
We invite you back here every single week. I think there's, people in front of you who want to engage with you also.
In pre-show, Don, we were talking about the Melt Don and how Don has a good sense of humor about it now. But he can't refer to Diecast directly. He has to talk about Diecast in third person, like he's not here with us.
Well, I just wasn't trying to make any, dredge up old wounds.
It's like that person that I was dealing with. And I'm like, it's Diecast. If you've never heard the Melt Don.
I remember that time in North Carolina when you were in my car and there was that other person there who was just like making a total mess of the whole thing.
No, I have blocked that for sanity purposes.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't have clear memory of that, because like your blood pressure had to be pretty high at that point.
Don, but do you remember the trip to Golden Corral? That was actually pretty good after.
Oh, that was a good Golden Corral.
That was a good Golden Corral.
That's my.
I missed.
It's really sad for me. It's really sad for me when a trip to a Golden Corral is like basically one of the highlights of a trip somewhere.
Yep.
But there you go. That was that weekend for me going to North Carolina.
That's true. So we also have Don, and
Brian hit me in the head with a heavy wooden ottoman.
I sure did. And Diecast and Matt.
Everybody.
We were all here for that. Rob wasn't, unfortunately. That would have been great.
No, sadly not.
I remember emailing Rob at one point and saying, "You know what? Don't feel too bad that you didn't get to come here."
Yeah, I remember that.
That was after I got the $200 and something ticket for somebody else running into my car.
Oh God, yeah, that
getting
sucks.
hit in the head with the ottoman. The 8-hour trip that took me 13 hours because of various circumstances, including the $200 something ticket. It was not a good first 36 hours or so.
But it got better.
Well, then there was the bowling alley incident, and that didn't really help either.
Yeah, screw the bowling alley incident.
And then we went to that restaurant on, I think, Sunday, and they forgot to make my order.
Oh yeah. Well, that sucks.
I'm not trying to rag on your home. I'm just saying, for me, that trip was basically the trip of the damned.
Okay. Well, hopefully in the future, when we're able to trip again, it will not be the damned trip.
When we're able to trip again.
Yes, I know.
Look, I know some
right
people
now
on Twitter who are tripping right now. Yeah,
that's true. This is true. This is
so
true.
I guess that means we're tripping the light Brian-tastic, I guess.
Oh God, yeah. So hey, there's stuff going on. Hey, thank you for people in the Discord for being here. We do that. We have it always going, and I peek in from time to time. I peek in every day. Don't always necessarily say something because I'm kind of a reserved, quiet, introverted person, and I don't like.
Really?
Yeah, God, yeah. Like Kim told me, she's like, the links that you will go to not interact with people amazes me. So yeah. But I interact with their fans because I love my fans. I love them. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. But yeah, so Discord, tfradio.net/Discord. You can chat with us during the live stream each week and throughout the week. And that's where I get news a lot of times because people post it in there. It's very useful for that. Let's see here. We recorded It's a Done Deal last week. And I'll have that posted here in a couple days. That was fun. We'll record another one here toward the end of the month. I don't know when we would get around to it. Maybe the second week of July. But we did that live stream back in early May. That was a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do that again in July or something. We'll see. It could be fun. Not planning it, just throwing it out there. Is there any? So there's no SDCC. There's no.
Well, okay, so there's
digital
not gonna
at
be an
home.
SDCC, right? They're gonna be streaming SDCC events and content basically. So,
Hey.
Good news, you don't have to like get a ticket or anything. Anybody can watch that and experience it all at the same time. But yeah, there's not going to be like anything to actually go to. But from what I've heard of SDCC, I think I prefer this outcome. I wouldn't want to actually go do that, be there.
Kim is like, hey, do you want to go to
hundreds of thousands of people?
Kim's like, hey, do you want to go to San Diego Comic-Con at some point? And I'm like, nope, not at all. Nope. She kind of does. One of her friends goes every year, and she is actually, intrigued by it. But I'm like, nope, I have no desire. Don't want to go to like. I could do Dragon Con every year. It's 6 hours away, but I don't even do that.
I want to do it 1 year. SDCC. I want to do it 1 year.
Okay, well there you go. There you go, Diecast. Fly down to Brian's house and pick up Kim, and then the two of you can go and do SDCC 1 year. And
Yeah.
Brian can stay home and be happy that he's not at SDCC.
I don't think that would work because I would probably lose Kim the way I speed around everything.
Yeah. So, we've been
She probably wouldn't mind, Diecast.
No. So it's kind of funny, but I guess where I was going with this, I was like, hey, eventually we'll get a Transformers Fan First Friday, but apparently we did last week.
Yeah, we got shirts.
And it was shirts. With all
and the one
stuff
before that was Scorponok's box art.
Yeah, like with everything leaking, all the stuff out there, we got shirts that I don't even want.
Yeah,
My theory is that the problem with this is there's a lot of the stuff that they have queued up to reveal, which is store exclusive stuff, which has in the agreements with the retailers they're working with very specific dates for when this is supposed to go officially public, and they can't reveal the stuff before that. So
store exclusive stuff, yeah, I can see that, but I mean they had to have reveals planned for general retail for San Diego Comic-Con. So what's holding them back for that?
They'll get around to that when it's SDCC time next month.
I'll be honest.
Generally, with SDCC, they do tend to, even with retail things, shop out the first reveals to places like IGN, and so those contracts could well have already been signed, and just those first reveals have to happen at this time on IGN and nowhere else and no sooner.
So I'm going to put my retailer hat on, and my merchandising hat. I don't know that retailers.
From your years at Service Merchandise.
No, yeah, Service Merchandise again. It's not toys, but I don't know that retailers really care when the stuff gets announced. I don't think that's a big deal for them. I don't think like a Target would care if Hasbro announces something on a live stream. They'd probably be pleased with that because it doesn't cost them anything.
Yeah, that'd just be free publicity, really.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, it's possible. It's entirely possible. Now, like a big bad toy store or somebody like that. I mean, they probably wouldn't care either, and they wouldn't have the leverage. But like as I just don't think they would really. I don't think it'd be a big deal. We'll see. But yeah, so the fan first fart was this past week, and it was just not exactly what we were hoping for. Does anybody like Diecast? Do you want that Megatron shirt?
No,
me neither. Oh, and it's not even like most Transformers size. Transformers fan size, because it stops at 2X, which only captures 20% of Transformers fans.
I mean, that's more than enough for me, but I'm far from average.
Oh yes, I know.
In many ways.
Many ways. We like in the rest, in wrestling fans, like the two size shirts that you need are 4X and small, and really there's nothing in between with wrestling fans. So. Transformers fans are kind of the same way. Oh, they're making baby shirts for babies. That is basically it. I love that. That's great. Oh, gosh. Okay, so what else do we have going on? So we have that done deal. I don't think we have anything else going on. Nothing new. Oh, you said you got the podcast recorded for the Toy Detectives?
Yes, and one day I'll edit that.
Awesome. If you need help,
We'll aim for that toward the end of the month.
okay, that'll
for
be
patrons
exclusively for patrons. So at patreon.com/tfradio. You want to produce more, we do the pre-show, post-show podcast each week, and I want to do some more Patreon exclusive content. So
we've got some concept stuff in mind that we're kind of tossing back and forth. We've got some good titles for stuff. We just need to build shows around them.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Okay. What else? Guess that's it. Chris, you got your first overnight Amazon delivery.
Yes, it's very exciting. I didn't even know this was available in my area because, I live pretty far out from anything actually developed.
From Nashville, you're not that far.
We only just got electricity last year.
Yep.
So yeah, I was able to place my first order overnight with Amazon, and it was for a pack of 96 binder clips.
Oh,
nice.
So we have an odd problem in this house, which is that usually I would get packages of binder clips from Dollar Tree because you could get a dozen of them for $1 in the medium size like this.
Mm-hmm.
Dollar Tree has stopped selling them in the last year or so. I think 12 binder clips of that size have now cost more than they can be sold for $1. But we have an odd problem that no matter how many of them I bring into the house, they all disappear within about 3 weeks. So we use them to close chip bags and stuff. My mom uses them for all kinds of stuff. I even use them for rigging stuff up in my little mini photo studio.
Same.
So yeah, they are infinitely useful for everything except for their stated purpose of binding stacks of paper together, which I've always found them terrible for. Because if you put any decent amount of paper in them, as soon as you try to flip through, the clips just slip off because paper is kind of slippery, oddly enough.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, $10 for 96 binder clips. I gave my mom a box right away so that she could, take those and not start removing them from the kitchen. I put the box in the kitchen, and I've got the rest, which I will keep in a secure location and dole out as needed. But hopefully this will do us for binder clips for at least 3 months.
Here's hoping.
Because in this household, binder clips are a consumable resource.
Mm.
So besides that, some on-topic stuff I got. From Kilby, I bought the Legends G2 Megatron, the redeco of Titan's Return, Triple Changer Megatron. The purple plastic's a lot darker than I expected it to be from, literally every photo I've ever seen of this.
Hmm.
There was as I stand up here to try to fish it out, what was this even? The 2010 Takara Generations line,
something like that.
Yeah, this version of G2 Megatron, which it's the same concept, but I was expecting the purple to look like this one, which is a much more, it's lighter and I guess maybe more saturated. It's more of a grape popsicle purple, whereas the Legends one is more of a grape juice purple.
Which I think is more accurate to the original toy, as I remember.
You might be right about that. I have to admit, though, I prefer the deluxe toys color a little bit better just because it's more vibrant looking. It to me, it feels like it more captures the spirit of G2, even if it's not specifically detail accurate color.
Yeah.
But that's the thing I've had my eye on for a while, and it helps Kilby get a Battle Gaia or a Guard City or something at some point. So win-win. I caught on Amazon Warehouse Jeep Bumblebee from Studio Series, which ended up costing me about $15, which, for as small as the Bumblebees are in Studio Series, I think that's about right. Obviously, I haven't had the inclination to open it yet, but I like the way it looks in package, and there's supposition right now that the Cybertronian mode Cliff Jumper coming in Studio Series is the shared engineering partner of this. So that should be actually interesting to have that pair together. I have both on pre-order. I have the Cliff Jumper on pre-order, and I have this. And I was thinking about earlier, every distinctly original, unique mold for the Bumblebee movie in Studio Series, I think I'm ending up with, because I've got that Cliff Jumper on pre-order, I've got Blitzwing on pre-order, and I was able to also just pick up Studio Series Jet Shatter this past week, which, so in the sense that parts don't randomly fall off of it, it's definitely better than Car Shatter, but I still don't really like it that much. Like, it has basically the same strength as Car Shatter, which is that the vehicle mode comes together and holds its shape pretty solidly. The robot's not really fun to mess with. The joints feel weird and restrictive in odd ways. Like, some of that seems to be just the tension on the joints and the plastic tolerances, but it doesn't really feel good to handle. But the transformation is pretty interesting. I like how it comes together, even though there's a lot of like shell forming characteristics to it. There's still plenty of more integral transformation, I guess I'll call it. And Harrier Jump Jet like this is an uncommon alt mode in Transformers 2, and anybody who has, followed my interest for any length of time knows I'm kind of into novel vehicle modes in Transformers toys, because at this point when the engineering doesn't have a lot of new tricks to pull out, you gotta latch onto something to keep it interesting. But I ended up getting this for about $15 also, and that's probably, again, about right. I guess at this point, like, out of the Dropkick and Shatter pair and the 4 toys in Studio Series they've had, Car Dropkick's the only one that came out, like, pretty well. Because that helicopter Dropkick was not fun, even though it had the most complicated engineering of all 4 of them. It just still was not that great to actually make work. So, 1 out of 4, pretty bad ratio, but, that's what I got this week.
Cool. Matt, did you get anything?
Nothing at all.
Oh.
Sad
Rob?
trombone.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I never use the soundboard on this mixer, but there is one.
Nice.
Rob?
I did get a few things. First off, thanks to Chris for getting it off my Amazon wish list. He got me the combined...
This does not shut up, I'm sorry.
The combined edition of the Mobile Suit Gundam novelizations, which go very differently from the animated series. They reprinted
a copy of that here myself.
Ah, nice. Yeah, they reprinted... Oh, you've got the original printing, too. That is actually
I've had
really
this
rare.
for 15 years.
Very nice. Yeah, they were... The printing you sent me is the printing they made because people were selling that for $2,000.
What?
Really?
Yeah, that's what the introduction says.
Wow.
So it's all three. Okay, so Del Rey actually printed this back in 1990, but they did not use the official translated names because there was no official
translated names.
Yeah, those novelizations back in 90 were the first Gundam product to ever come out here, period. And yeah, so they finally reprinted it, touched up the translation a little bit, and brought it back out. And yeah, so thank you, Chris. I've been meaning to get that for years. So
it's a good read.
It is.
It's a good read when you don't have to take yourself out of it every third word to correct something that they didn't know they were spelling wrong at the time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I also got Paladin sent me Zelda Breath of the Wild for my Switch, and
ooh.
Yes, thank you for that. That is eaten an awful lot of my life already. I am really enjoying that.
Will.
Oh yes, and yeah, I'm enjoying that one a lot, and that's been enjoyable. I also got myself a set of hand grips for the Switch Lite just to make it a little bit easier to hold while I play that. So, and lastly, Angel got me for my birthday the Dragon Quest 30th Anniversary art book. And that is if anybody wants that, tfradio.net/Amazon, it is on there now for about $20, and it is one of the best art books I have gotten in forever. It is every piece of artwork Akira Toriyama did for Dragon Quest between the original game in 1986 and whenever Dragon Quest 10 came out.
Wow.
And
wow.
Yeah, and it's on really good heavy-duty paper, like some of the best clay coat paper I've actually handled on anything in forever. And yeah, it is just an amazing little book for $20. And if you are a fan of Toriyama or Dragon Quest or both, it is absolutely worth that.
What's it called?
Something along the lines of Dragon Quest 30th anniversary illustrations.
I will add that to my list.
Yeah.
So Paladin says Breath of the Wild isn't really a gift; it's a chore you enjoy doing.
So
it's not entirely inaccurate.
I never finished it, but for whatever reason now I kind of want to buy it on the Wii U because I'm an idiot.
I can kind of see that.
It's like I didn't finish it on the Switch. Maybe I'll finish it on the Wii U that I haven't turned on in 2 years.
That's perfectly on brand, though, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, my Wii U set's right here, and I'm certain it is not powered. I'm certain there's no juice in this thing. So,
well, I've only turned my 3DS on one. Well, I've only opened my 3DS once in the last year, and that was just to re-up my Pokemon Bank subscription.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've got Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD on here. So wait, was it Twilight Princess that came out on the Wii?
Twilight Princess came out between systems, yeah.
So I've got it now on 3 systems. I've got it on the GameCube, I've got it on the Wii, and I've got it on the Wii U.
Man.
I think the Wii U version they fixed. It's the GameCube version where Link is left-handed.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Link has always been left-handed,
except in the Twilight Princess on the Wii.
Yeah,
they switched the world around so that you'd be right-handed. I knew crazy.
Yes, they mirrored the entire world, as I recall.
Yep, they sure did.
Wow.
Yep, it's crazy. Cool. Diecast, you get anything?
I did.
What'd you get?
One of my favorite things. I got Head, and it's Unicron, and third party, I guess you could say, Unicron, and it lights up, and the green eyes on it are really, really nice. His mouth opens and closes. He does have teeth, which Brian doesn't like, so you don't like it with the teeth, right?
Correct.
And then there's also a light on the top of his head because the head is in the center of the mall. So I guess it's kind of like this. That way, the center of the mall will light up, which is kind of cool. And again, I didn't get the body yet because the head and wings come separate. So I do have Unicron. Wings, rings, or
Halo,
the ring,
whatever.
Halo. But yeah, that's all I have of this not third-party Unicron so far. That made me very happy. I also got that little fine Q wheeljack, the little tiny car. That we were talking about, that's done by X2 Toys, and I was curious.
That was what 2 months ago?
Yeah, and I was curious what it would be, and I still don't know what it is. I just know it's a little car.
I think we determined that's all it was. A little car with glow-in-the-dark headlights.
I don't know if it's supposed to light up or do something. I'm very confused by it. But, I still can't figure out, even though it's in my hand. So the mystery continues.
The sad thing is that Unicron is not only a Unicron figure, it's a lamp.
Okay.
Or that it's not a lamp?
No, I'm saying you got the light in the middle. I mean, basically, you've got the toy and you've got a Unicron lamp all in one.
Yeah,
wow.
That's true.
You can wire it up to be a lamp.
Box of Taobao, I got Helix.
Oh wow, that is big.
Oh,
yeah, but because they, took it out of the box and shipped it, these tips up front are all busted.
Oh.
So that's my bad, unfortunate. Yeah.
Might be time to give up on Taobao.
Yeah, that thing is not cheap either.
No. So luckily I I think I'm able to get replacement parts.
I hope so.
From MMC. So
I would certainly try if I was you.
Yep.
I am, because, obviously I can't ship it back, and I can't,
Right.
Let's see, what else? I think I got one more thing. I got
It's a
the
box.
Zeta Toys Pioneer,
Huh.
which their
is
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee movie, Bumblebee.
oh,
Bumblebee. Yeah. So,
That is a lot of foil on that
Foil.
box.
yes.
2/3 of the cost of that toy probably is box.
yeah, that's a lot of foil that the camera hates.
Not 2/3, not really, but
It does look very nice. Like, it's set. I know a lot of people throw the boxes away, and you're looking at it and like, that is one of the
30%
nicest
of what you
boxes I've
paid for
seen
is
in a while.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless you get it
I
from
would
Taobao,
loathe
and then
ever
they
having to
usually
photograph
throw the boxes away. I got lucky, and they sent this one in the box.
Good.
So I'm nervous about my Unicron, because if they take that out of the box, I'm wondering if that's also going to come damaged.
Hey, I need a refund. I got this thing with no head.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got this week. Other than the new Camaro, I got a new Camaro.
Oh, great.
Yeah, blue one. It's Glyph.
Yeah. Brian helped me figure out. I was like, "Who is the blue Bumblebee?" And then he finally figured out.
no,
it was
you
Glyph.
have you have the bump of chicken Camaro.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I
Okay.
also said that.
Okay,
So yeah,
But yeah.
it's either one.
Yeah, I think Chris raised a good point, Diecast. I think it's time to step away from Taobao.
well, just because the stuff keeps coming damaged, like they're not taking any care in how they're reshipping it to you.
Yeah,
No,
I
they're
mean,
not.
yeah.
They're
You know,
not.
I'm all for saving a buck, but after a point, your diminishing returns is kind
Yeah.
of not
It's
worth
really a bad time right now. With
Yeah, I think with ongoing issues and
Yeah.
space becoming a premium, they're just chucking away all the packaging from everything and fitting it in the tightest space they possibly can. And yeah, they're not being very gentle about it. So
And what annoys me is you're paying per piece for the weight and the volumetric weight of the item. So you're actually paying for them to ship you it in the box, but they're just trying to be cheap, even though they're charging more to
I
throw
guess-
the
I guess you
packaging
could-
out.
I guess you could look at it from their perspective potentially a little bit, and if there's limited flights or whatever boats going back and forth right now compared to normal, it's also a case of like we gotta fit as much stuff as we can on every single thing. We gotta compact everything down so we get as much mileage out of this as we can. It's not necessarily that they're trying to cheap out on it and pocket your extra difference, even though they're pocketing your extra difference most likely.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
just a bonus. That's not the intent necessarily.
No.
That
Don.
could be. You're absolutely right.
Don, what'd you get? Other than like $1 million trips to Target.
Well, I went. Most of my stuff's off topic, but I'll keep it real quick. I stopped by Walmart to pick up some cat food from Massey, and they had finally restocked the real Ghostbuster figures, and I got Winston, Peter, and Ray because I had found
nice.
that one. I found the one Egon. They finally restocked after about a month, and I got the other three of those figures. I passed a few weeks ago on the Slimer and the Stay Puft. I really didn't want them, but I finally got that. Also, I've been eyeing this, so I picked it up. It's the Voltron Defender of the Universe 2-pack with vehicle and Lion Force. It was their last copy on the shelf.
Oh, wow.
And so I'll be selling the Lion Force part on eBay to get some money back and just keeping the vehicle team. And yes.
I don't want to mess up the show. I should hang up on you, but I can't.
Well, I mean, it's Lion Force. I mean, who cares? And then when I went back to Target after I got off work, thinking maybe they might have put some of the Secret 2-pack out, I found my first sound barrier.
Oh, cool.
Congratulations.
It was just it wasn't there wasn't any on the picture that I took when I posted it on Twitter, and I went back and I was walking down the clearance end caps, see if anything had gone to the clearance end caps. There was one just laying there, so
Nice.
I found Plank Man. So I guess that makes me Ed or Eddie. I'm not sure which.
I don't know.
Yeah, and that's it. It is other than Target put out that end cap, but it's stuff that I found in Greensboro months ago. Prime, Astro Train. They did have Scavenger and Shockwave from Studio Series.
And did I see a Studio Series Jetfire on that end cap?
Yes.
A toy from a year and a half ago.
Yeah, they've
Wow.
had that Jetfire since at least January. Also, they've got a Megatron, Dark of the Moon Megatron on the side counter. And they've got 4 CD Shockwaves in addition to what you saw on the end cap. They did finally get in the Jet Shatter, Off-Road Bumblebee, and Roadbuster. Not really feeling Roadbuster, but that's it. That's the most of my area has had, other than Walmart getting in that end cap, that display a few weeks ago, and that's it.
Cool. John, are you here?
I am here.
Did you get anything?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm coming through over the airwaves. I got that Transmetal Waspinator like approval sketch from Takara.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
So that's in my grubby hands, and that'll be framed soon-ish.
That may be one of my favorite things I've seen you acquire since you started this new leg of your hobby.
Thanks. Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely original. You can tell it's handwritten, and it's like it's on kind of like waxy draft paper from 25 years ago or 27 years ago, whatever it is. But yeah, I like that one a lot.
Sold.
And then let's see here. Other than that, no, I'm just hovering over Brickseek and Pop Finder. Just
same
kind
here.
of waiting for many things to pop up, but that's about it for me.
Cool.
So, tip for those looking, Target's website, if they have a product page up for something like they do for the Secret 2-pack, their internal store finder utility is actually, it's the same thing that Pop Finder or Brickseek draws from. It's all the same database, but it's arranged better. You don't have to put in a zip code for that. You don't search within a limited range. You just can tell it to filter for only stores within stock, and you can see the closest store, even if they're hundreds of miles away. It's very good for charting the progress of the stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
good
true.
idea.
That's true. And if you have a Target account and if you're logged in, you have your store already selected and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
some of that stuff's pre-populated.
Cool. Okay, so since Don went off topic, I'm going to just mention I got the first wave, hopefully maybe the only wave, of the Ghostbusters movie figures. I guess if movie Ghostbusters figures are your thing, it's probably okay. I mean, they're nice figures. They're basically Marvel Legends / Black Series sort of figures. They're the best Ghostbusters movie figures I've played around with, at least for what I want out of an action figure, but they just don't seem really necessary. Sort of.
Is it all from
They're
the
all
first Ghostbusters movie, Brian?
It's Dana, Azul, Gozer, the 4 Ghostbusters, and the Build-A-Figure is Vince Clortho.
So nothing from Ghostbusters 2.
Nothing.
Because
Well,
I think you need a V. I think you need a Vigo.
I need a
figure,
Vigo.
Brian.
So I want a
And
Vigo.
Janusz.
I want a Vigo. I don't need it. I'd take a Janusz, but I want a Vigo. I want a Lewis, and I want a Janine as she looks in Ghostbusters 2, with the glasses and everything, the hair. So, but I would actually, what I really want them to do is just to drop that and then make real Ghostbusters figures in that format. And then
Well,
just go
luckily
crazy.
there were only 2 live-action Ghostbusters movies to draw from. So
Yeah. So we'll see. God, we'll get yeah. There's too much. Yeah, I don't see everybody will take it. But there's just some Junker GoBots and stuff in there that has inspired me to look for some Super GoBots figures that I wasn't so much aware of. But I've been buying some junker stuff on in lots just to maybe repair some stuff or finish off a few things. And I'm not going to go into the junkers I got, but in a junker lot I bought, I did get this. It is long haul from the Constructicons, but it's the Diaclone color. I have no idea which knockoff this is from. It's from a knockoff, but like almost all Constructicon knockoffs, it's legit quality to the original. So actually, I was pretty pleased with this. I got this one and another couple toys for like $1. So we'll see. I've always wanted the Diaclone Constructicons. So whether or not they are a knockoff or whether or not it's real or not, and not that this is, but I've just always wanted it because I've always liked the colors. So we'll see. I also got Serpento R, which I honestly wasn't certain if I had it or not. This is from Subscription Service 3, which I had to do some digging through my email to find out that I didn't subscribe to that one, which I wish I had. But God, I wish if I could go back, I would get all 6 or whatever it was that they did.
Yeah, I think that was a Seeker heavy wave, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's the G2 Star Screen.
The only one I offhand regret not subscribing to was the Thunder Mayhem subscription set.
Yeah, I wish I'd got that one. Definitely.
Those toys resell now for ridiculous amounts.
About $1,000.
The rare occasions they actually turn up for sale. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you said $1,000?
About $1,000. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is 40%, 50% markup from what they originally cost. So it's not like.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, that's probably the most expensive combiner from a standpoint of buying a new toy that there will ever be. Well, no, that's not true. Inflation, but yeah, it's expensive. But
I mean, for the same $1,000 or so, you could get Thunder Mayhem or a pretty decent Guard City theoretically.
Maybe
no.
Okay, a slightly decent Guard City.
No.
Like half a Guard City.
Yes.
Okay.
That's closer. Yeah.
So, I think I'm going to hold off on Guard City. I don't know. I'm half thinking I'm going to go for a Grand Max instead. About the same price, and
I thought you'd made up your mind on this last week in post show.
I know. I'm going back and forth on it. But yeah, Serpentor R. It's based on the tooling of the Rat Bat from was that Legends, I guess, which is based on the Scourge from.
I love that mold so much.
Yeah.
Reveal the shield.
In the colors though, because they were supposed to be like really vibrant, and they weren't as vibrant when the actual production one came out.
Serpentor R?
Yeah, when we saw it, it was like a really, really nice green and gold, and when we got the actual toy, it was like earwax. And
I like it though. I mean, it matches Serpentor, so.
I mean, okay, so like in complete fairness, the first picture they showed us was obviously a Photoshop of Scourge with a head superimposed on it. And when you're doing that, you can make anything any color you want. But when it comes down to like when they have to actually figure out what colors of plastics they can use, there's different kinds of plastics that you just cannot make be metallic colors. Rob, Strike Freedom.
Uh-huh. Oh,
yeah, so the Mobile Suits in Action Strike Freedom Gundam. The Strike Freedom's design has gold joints and hands, like shiny, glittery, chromy gold. The Mobile Suits in Action one was the earwax plastic because that form of plastic cannot take metallic colors. You can't paint it, and it can't have like metal flake in it because it's a structural support plastic like the nylon unpaintable plastic in Transformers. It might even be the same material. So you either get earwax or you get nothing.
Now,
And
Brian,
then there was the even worse Gundam Stray Gold frame, which was never released, which was various painted and plastic colors, ranging from shiny gold to earwax and butterscotch. It was just that was horrendous. I lost the pictures I had of that. I wish I could show you, but it was that's one I kind of don't regret never seeing release.
Now, the Gundam
Okay.
Mark III, on the other hand, but we digress.
Yes.
now, Brian, now
Yes.
that you have Serpento R, you have to go back to the Combiner Wars line and get many, many Vipers for him to command.
Oh my god. I've seen maybe one. I think the only one that I've ever seen in person is the one that I own. I don't. Yeah.
I have 8 of them standing with Serpento R over there in the corner. It's a fire team of Vipers. You know, he needed troops to command.
Yeah. Plus I've
I
got.
think I have 3 Vipers total.
Plus I have that Constructicon Bat figure. He could command, and yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like it. A couple other things. I got 2 more of the McDonald's 1985 St. Louis Happy Meal toys. I
nice.
got yellow and blue Brawn and a yellow and green Gears. So just as a reminder, so basically there are 4 molds. Basically you have Brawn, Gears, Cliff Jumper, and Bumblebee. And there are 6 different variations of colors for each. So of a total of 24. So this puts me... I have 2 more on the way. So I'm over halfway now on having them all.
Nice.
So there was a big jump in price several months back. You can actually watch the market for these fluctuate in real time. It's kind of crazy. And it seems to fluctuate the more that I talk about them on the podcast, to be completely honest, which is not that surprising considering the frequency that these actually show up. But the price seems to have settled down a little bit, which I'm shooting myself in the foot by saying that. But I really am. That's not, I mean, again, it's just the number of these in existence. That's talking about them really, but like I'm over halfway there. So maybe in the next 5 years, it's going to become harder to get the rest of them because I've got the most common ones, or the ones that have most commonly shown up. So, one more item. I love when I buy something on eBay and somebody includes a note, a listener, not knowing that I'm buying from a listener, they'll send a note along with it. So this one is looking forward to hearing about this on what you got this week from Retrofort. So thank you for that. That made my day. A while back, I got the Transmetal Megatron in box, not mint and sealed box in box. So I decided to go ahead and get an Optimus Primal to go along with it. Just so that I have one in a box that can not interact with nature or the world to some extent. So there's some level of protection there. But it's beautiful. It's dark blue. So honestly, considering my other one is on the bottom of a box, all of the transmetal chrome may have worn off at this point.
I only had the pink one.
I probably need to get one of those too. But yeah, that was, I'm just super happy to get that, and the note made my day. Thank you very much for that. So yeah, I've got my loot from Big Bad is being delivered tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Yeah, which
Nice.
yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that on post show or whatever, but I've been saving up for that Guard City, and I had basically enough to get it, and then my bank account for all the eBay stuff I've sold got a $400 hit on it, and yeah, it was $400 of stuff that hit my pile of loot all at once.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah. So now I'm actually thinking about not buying anything in particular and just saving up until I decide what I want, or just basically dole out and get like some G1 stuff that I've been wanting. I don't know.
There's always the spend Brian's money concept.
Yep. Yep.
Maybe that should be like a special patron thing.
Yeah, that was a suggestion.
That was the suggestion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's what I get for not being here for a week.
I think I can post a poll.
I was proud of that.
Yeah, that was really. Of course, it was Matt that came up with it.
Well, if it wasn't him, it would have been me.
Well, that's the point. Yeah, I think I can post a poll to Patreon. Maybe that's what I'll do. Is like we'll spend Brian's money. So
you'll have a big pile of loot next week. I imagine at least some of us will have the Seekers next week.
God, I hope I'm one of them. I am hitting Brick Seek every 30 minutes.
You don't need to do it every 30 minutes. Just do it after 8 a.m. The inventory only updates once a day. Okay.
So I can go to one of my 45 targets to hopefully find it. Oh, man. Okay. News. Basically, 3 items. We'll just do the first one. I'll do this one. Paladin shared with us on a tweet from Swedish Robot Fish that the voice actor for Lita 1 has confirmed that Netflix Siege War for Cybertron has been delayed due to the pandemic messing up the recording schedules. Basically, they're working on getting the dub to all the relevant languages, so we'll see when that comes out. But it's not in June. I'm not worried.
Oh well.
I mean, is anybody besides Diecast really bothered by that?
No.
No,
I'm gonna guess August for the new release date.
I mean, I think we have
literally nothing.
Yeah, I think we have reason to think this is probably going to be better than the stuff we got before. But I just don't know. My hopes aren't high. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, it seems to have at least twice the frame rate of the Machinima series, so it should hurt less to look at.
That's true.
And I think they're like mostly using legitimate voice talent rather than gimmick casting.
It did have gimmick casting. Like I like the wrestler Samoa Joe, but I didn't necessarily need him as a voice actor.
I didn't need Jason David Frank as a Transformer either.
Yeah.
If we're going to start nitpicking.
That's right. There was a third series, and I decided to ignore it.
Yep.
Or was it the second series? Either way, I tuned all of that
series
out. Yeah. Wow.
So we're getting a new Transformers game. It's coming out when? In October?
Yeah, October the 23rd.
Rob recorded an RC News Desk for it. It's coming out to the current console generations. We don't know a lot about it. A trailer was released, but it looks like it's based on Cyberverse. Transformers Battlegrounds. And it's hard. I don't know if it's real-time strategy, if it's actual real-time combat, because the trailer basically has it from a high-level top-down sort of perspective, not top-down, isometric perspective, where you can see everything going on at once. But then they zoom into the individual characters duking it out. It actually kind of looks fun.
The graphics look really nice. I just like you, I have no idea what this is going to be, what it's going to be like. The developer and the publisher involved have never done anything in my wheelhouse, but that they do deal with licensed stuff a fair bit for a younger audience, which is what a lot of the information for this kind of emphasizes, the fact that it is going to be aimed for a younger audience. It's rated, like I said in the story, it's rated in the EU for ages 7 and up. So it's definitely going to be a little bit lighter than what we've gotten before.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it also mentions that there will be both single player and multiplayer, which is good as far as I'm concerned. I'm not always a huge fan of just leaning on the multiplayer to sell a game like this. I'd rather have a decent single player thing going on too.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I have no idea what it's like. My first impression was that the graphics kind of remind for the like surrounding town now kind of remind me of Fortnite, And of course, the game that preceded that, the kind of set that genre up was PlayerUnknown's Battleground. So
this is Transformer Unknown's Battleground.
that's kind of what I was wondering, but we don't really have enough information to know
No.
for sure. I kind of hope it's not that, but we'll see where that goes. I'm just they say they're going to be releasing more information through the summer, so I'm figuring about when SDCC was going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more about this. I don't really have any strong feelings about it yet, and that's actually, I think, a good thing. It's not like, okay, this is going to be the best, which is a great way to be let down. It's not like, oh, this is going to be terrible, which is a horrible thing to be feeling about the first Transformers console game in like 5 years. So I'm looking forward to learning more about it. That's about the best I can tell you.
Yeah, like I said last week or on Twitter, that I don't know what I want from a Transformers game. I've never gotten it though. So
Yeah, so I saw that tweet, and I've been giving it some thought since then, and the best thing that I've come up with for my taste would be I would like something that's slightly in the style of Grand Theft Auto, in that you are, like, the main campaign or whatever, you're playing basically a generic robot, either as an Autobot or Decepticon, and the gimmick is that any vehicles you find in a city, you can scan and change your alt form to, and you would need to do that. You would need to do that to be able to properly complete challenges or missions. Like, obviously there'd be flexibility. You could brute force through it in anything, but like, it's made to work best if you use some strategy about how you do your vehicle mode assignments. And then, to appease the hardcore crowd, like, there'd be challenge unlocks where you could play as Optimus Prime or Starscream or Megatron, just without the ability to switch your vehicle scanning.
Yeah. And the people have been a fan of a lot of the games that came out, like War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. People love those, and I played them. They're fun. I don't love them. Our pal,
I love Fall of Cybertron.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. I just never fell in love with the games.
Good as well.
Our pal in Prime Read in the chat said Devastation was a masterpiece. People love that, and I can totally understand it's fun, but I can't get past the Bumblebee air humping Megatron so Optimus can shoot him. It just doesn't. It just. So
I did have problems getting into Devastation.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's a fun game, but it's just not it doesn't feel authentic to Transformers.
Not what I was looking for.
Yeah, but it's what I played was fun. It's just
I appreciate Devastation for being so devoted to its stylistic presentation.
Yeah. Like I don't begrudge any Transformers game, but Rise of the Dark Spark was not great.
PlayStation Beast Wars.
Yeah. Beast Wars.
One day I want to get the 3DS version, since it does seem to be a strategy game. I would like to mess with that.
Yeah. I think though, as long as a Transformers game isn't offensive, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be good.
I would like to just play PS2 Armada again.
That would be nice to have a remaster of, yeah.
Yeah,
I was just thinking of looking up a PlayStation and playing that again.
Yeah, PlayStation.
I like your idea better, Rob.
PlayStation 2 Armada or Fall of Cybertron, that's exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for in a Transformers video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go back and play the PlayStation 2 G1 game just so I can feel better about myself.
Oh no.
Tatakai?
Yeah, it's so terrible. God, that game is bad. I haven't played it in 15 years or however long it's been since it came out, but it was just so terrible. I'm actually getting an HDMI adapter for my PS2.
Oh, so, nice.
Here in a couple days, so maybe I'll pull out the Armada game and see how it looks in 480p.
Calvin and Jared Hebert are referencing the Transmetals game. They're talking about the N64 version. I had the PlayStation version of that, and that's fun-ish for a very basic fighting game.
Yeah, I don't think I have it on the N64. Let me check. I have all my meager.
Well, if I remember right, the N64 version was exclusive to
Blockbuster.
Yeah. So unless your Blockbuster decided to sell it at
eBay,
some point,
my friend,
it was hard to. Well, yes, now, but I'm just in the moment when it was new, actually owning a copy of that was very difficult.
Yeah, I'm just I don't remember if I have it or not. So I'm just doing a quick scan. It's mostly
Plus,
wrestling
I'm also
games I
like kind
have.
of setting the context for our listeners who may not have lived through that.
This is true. I also don't have a copy of Final Fight Guy, which was a Blockbuster exclusive on the Super NES.
I passed that up when they were selling it. I really shouldn't have.
I mean, it's no better.
No.
Not really. Okay. I need to look that up. I think it's still relatively... Actually, while I'm looking. So, Transmetals.
Oh, yeah. So there was the Transformers Prime game, which Paladin remembers on the Wii U. I have a Wii copy of it that the studio actually sent for a review.
Yeah, I have a 3DS copy of it under the same circumstances. I believe it was actually the same game across both platforms.
That was a decent game, to be honest.
It was. It was not bad, really.
So
and it was structured pretty well too, where it played out pretty convincingly and cohesively. Like just, I think I called it like in the review the movie of the week version of Transformers Prime, because it's like an extended episode of the series, but like the style of the writing felt right and everything, and there were just action sequences that you deal with in between.
So
yeah,
prices on the N64 game are all over the place, again, due to quality and everything. There are very few boxed copies out there, it looks like. But also one challenge, it looks like there are reproduction carts out there, and not all of them are labeled. Yeah. I may pick one up. I'd be fine with a repro cart. I don't care. As long as it works.
Well, yeah. That's always the question, isn't it, if it works?
Yeah, so $25 for a reproduction cart.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it plays like the original, that's not terrible.
Nope. Bought. Okay. Take a drink.
All right, well, we'll look forward to hearing the report on that sometime in the near future.
Yes.
Also, for everybody playing the drinking game, take a drink. Brian just bought something during the show.
Mm-hmm. And paid for. Done.
So, let's see, what's next?
What else we have? So, we learned that the alternate universe, Optimus Prime, is the dead Optimus Prime.
Yeah, so we had actually had some indication of that prior to this item coming up. One of the early video reviews, it was possible to see the stamped product number on the leg of the toy, and it matched what we had for alternate universe Optimus Prime.
What do you think of the box?
I've been trying to figure out what I think of the box, because, like, it's somewhere halfway between Generation Selects and a normal retail product, but I can't decide if it's enough of a thing where it's like an orphaned exclusive of some kind.
It seems that way to me.
Yeah, me too. I was doing some reading, and it seems like this is a reference to something from the Armada Dreamwave comic. Is that right?
Yeah, because later in the run of that, there was Worlds Collide or something in that, where it was in the lead up to Unicron's attack on Cybertron in the Dreamwave Comics continuity, and various characters from other Transformers worlds were heralds to Unicron at that point or something like that, including like Bludgeon. And Armada Optimus Prime ended up visiting one of the other universes where a G1 Optimus Prime was basically dying after his world was attacked by Unicron. Something like that. I never got that far in collecting the comics, but over 20 years you can pick it up pretty well from.
That sounds like it was after Simon Furman took over.
It was after Simon Furman took over. Very good.
Yeah. Because when Adam Panic was writing it, it was fun. So, yeah. What crappy writer wrote that? That's Sean.
Oh.
Wait, I haven't mentioned it in a while, but Adam was on Alt Toys Transformers years before he was, years. I say years, it's like 3 years, but it felt like longer than that back in the day.
Yeah, back then it felt like longer.
Before he was writing for the Dreamwave stuff. And, he was really opinionated, and he didn't have a lot of friends. But I'll say this, his work on the Armada comic was great. And I don't have no idea if he ever wrote anything else again professionally after that, but his his Armada stuff was very good. So
anyway, this probably isn't really a reference to that, but it does fit. When we first saw the side-on vehicle mode picture of that, and I was speculating in that news desk whether that might be the alternate universe one, I was just postulating that, like, okay, so from the perspective of Earthrise and Siege, the cartoon universe is an alternate universe, and that's what this is. It's a toy of Optimus Prime from the 80s cartoon, which is alternate to the main toy line.
yeah, that makes sense too.
And that's probably more directly what we should be expecting of this, like the meaning behind it.
Cool. Yeah. So, are we
I
still
just kind
thinking?
of feel bad for Don, though, that we know now for sure that alternate universe Optimus Prime is not a Generations Fire convoy.
Boo. Yeah. Cool. What else? Anything else?
Did we have another thing in here, or was that
I mentioned
everything?
it.
Oh,
It
you
was
did
the-
stuff out of order, didn't you?
Yeah, went out of order.
Yeah.
Hey, but if you want to go in order, you can go and order something at Amazon, tfradio.net/Amazon. Toilet paper, toothpaste,
Binder clips.
binder clips,
Dragon Quest art books.
Dragon Quest art
96
books.
Binder clips for $10. Have them tomorrow morning.
Let me check our favorite link at tfradio.net/Cadbury to see how much Cadbury eggs are right now. $25 for a box of 48. That's not bad.
No.
No, not bad at all. Also, if you go to tfradio.net/playlist or tfradio.net/Massey Attack, both Rob and Don have birthdays coming up. If you want to just see what they got going on.
If you want to give them diabetes for their birthdays.
Well, I don't think Rob has that on his list, does he?
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah, help him out with some diabetes.
Well, hey, I'll tell you one thing, Brian. If you want to add it to my Massey Attack list, BioFreeze.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm doing it right now.
Yes, because I'm with my job and as much walking as I'm doing, I am going through BioFreeze like crazy. I hate to ask people to spend money on me that with times like it is, but if someone's going to do it, a tube of BioFreeze would be really, really welcome.
I have added it, Don. BioFreeze has been added to your list.
Thank you.
That's at tfradio.net/Massey Attack and tfradio.net/playlist. But yeah, you can buy anything there, and Amazon is shipping stuff. Again, you can order stuff and have it in a couple days, as opposed to a month, like it sort of was before. Like I said, I have a PS2 HDMI cable where it taps off the RGB signal for some good quality 480p gaming. Pretty excited about that. I got the Dreamcast cable earlier this week, and it just inspired me to get the PS2 cable. So, oh, cool. Okay, so what else? Guess it's time then to thank our patrons at the touch level. You can become a patron on Patreon by going to patreon.com/tfradio. And if you join at the touch level, you get to be mentioned every week on RFC. And we love you. We love all our patrons, no matter where you're at. We're going to have a Patreon exclusive podcast coming up here in a couple weeks. New Toy Detectives. And gosh, I'm thinking about a couple other things that I want to do. But patreon.com/tfradio, our touched patrons, Kevin Dorsey, Sean Bratton, Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Hamilton, Jason W. Rye, Mike Mallory, Jason Hiley, Jonathan James, Matthew Deadman, such awesome names, Hector Bones, Brian Cooper, Nathan Sampy, Spider Bob, Rabbits, Emmett Stresovich, Gaming Fix, Patrick Davidson, and Joey Russell. Thank you all. You guys are awesome. Rabbits. Patreon.com/tfradio. Okay. Let's see here. You can find us, again, patreon.com/tfradio, Twitter at tfradio, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We have a Roku channel, a Fire TV channel. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, like pretty much everywhere. Everywhere you want to be.
No, that's John D.
Oh, that's true. You can find the show notes for this episode at tfradio.net/679. tfradio.net/ the episode number for RFC. It'll take you to the show notes. So if you're listening to episode 500, tfradio.net/500. Just works out that way. You can send us a text at 931-994-6268. You can also leave a voicemail, and we play those occasionally. We'll have an episode of It's a Dawn Deal coming up here in a couple weeks, so if you want to get a text or a voicemail on, you can do that. Rob Springer's not here, but he is at zonebase.org. And at Rob Springer, he will come back next month for a new episode of his podcast, the Zone Base podcast. But he's like in the middle of a move, so he's not had time to do that. Let's see here. Rob, how do people get a hold of you?
Okay, on Twitter, I am Figure Reviewers and Rob Flails. That the latter being the official Twitter account of Flail Through is my YouTube channel, where technically I play games in Japanese, which I do not really read, but I've been sidetracked into Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the last 2 years? Yeah, 2 years. Second anniversary of the game's coming up, and yeah, that's a free-to-play Gundam game set in the Universal Century. They add at least one new mobile suit every week. And Thursday mornings, you can check out my channel and find out what that mobile suit is. And if you like what I'm doing there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can throw money at me in exchange for requests, specific mobile suits, specific color schemes, that kind of thing. And if you'd rather just throw things at me, tfradio.net/claylist, and I do have an Amazon wish list set up, and my birthday is in about a week.
Sweet.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Dawn, your birthday's coming up as well. Happy 30th.
Well, now we just wait for the unmute to kick in.
Yeah. God, this takes forever.
Yeah.
Dawn needs a new computer. Actually, let me add, if somebody loves Dawn that much, let me add a really good...
Yeah, find a computer and put it on that list.
Hey.
Stranger things
have happened.
It doesn't even have to be a really good computer. It just has to be like a computer, and it will probably be better than what he has. Don, did you actually click on mute? Because this is taking quite a while. Okay, he's nodding for those listening to just the audio version of this.
HMRC, the number 4.
There it goes.
EVR.
There he is.
Don.
There we go. Yes, I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.
Oh, cool. Okay. Diecast.
You can follow me on Twitter at Diecast2. See all my reviews at tfradio.net/reviews. Hopefully, I should have a big one coming soon. I don't know what that could be, but hopefully.
In the meantime, though, could you use that to hula hoop on video? Just get some filler content.
It fits my head perfect, so it's almost like I am Unicron.
Yeah, I've always thought you had a head the size of a planet.
We are all Unicron.
Hey, Don, would you rather have a 13, 15, or 17-inch laptop?
I'd rather not have a laptop at all.
Okay.
But
get you.
I guess, it depends on if it has an expanded keyboard or not.
That's why I said 17. 17.
I was thinking monitor size, because
it is monitor size.
It's all relative, Don.
Yeah, the keyboard, the monitor size will kind of dictate the keyboard size.
Yeah, I know.
Most recent laptop we got her is a 17-inch monitor, and it's got a keyboard big enough where it's got a 10 key on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's
nice.
Yeah, because I like having a expanded keyboard, because a compressed keyboard, I have trouble typing on because everything is too condensed, and I like having a numeric pad on the side if possible.
Well, in this imaginary world where somebody's going to buy you a laptop from listening to a podcast, we'll make sure that's what they get you. So
he needs the numeric pad on the side to do his Dononomics.
This is true.
Well, when I'm sitting here balancing my checkbook, it's nice to have the keypad there for the calculator and such.
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the whole reason that exists on modern keyboard is for calculating
balancing
functions.
a checkbook thing.
Yep. Well, Don,
Nothing you would know about Diecast.
I have added the laptop to your Massey Attack list that has an expanded keyboard.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you to the imaginary listener who's going to buy that.
Yes.
Look, stranger things have happened with Don's wish list.
This is true. Cool. Let's see here. Diecast, how do people get a hold of you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Diecast2. See all my reviews on tfradio.net/reviews, and you can like my page on Facebook at Reviews by Diecast.
Cool. Let's see here. Chris.
Well, you can look upon my collected works and despair at playwithphotography.com. I have photo galleries of toys, articles about doing toy photography, cameras, just anything that falls within like that Venn diagram of toy photography and toys, and I want to write something about it in long form. It's probably there. On social media, you can check me out on Instagram.com/playwithphotography or at playwithphotos on Twitter. Test photos go up there, random things. Sometimes old stuff I find in my folders that I want to share out again will go up there. Just, for random pictures, follow me on social media for more structured, pre-planned content, playwithphotography.com. If you like any of the work I'm doing, want to help me to be able to do more of it or just show your support, patreon.com/playwithphotos for as little as $2 per month. Higher tiers come with more benefits. And I'm personally on Twitter at ChrisRTXV. I don't have a birthday coming up, but I do have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/ChrisList. However, buy Rob or Don a present instead because they actually do have birthdays.
Cool. John, you there?
I'm still here. I'm still that John D everywhere.
Excellent. Okay. I think I'm at BKilby on Twitter, Brian Kilby on Instagram, and BrianKilby.com. I think that's it. We'll see you around.
See you, everybody.
Bye-bye. Okay. So what I hate is the Happy Meal ones that I won today and just paid for during the show, which I didn't mention. I found one of them as a buy it now for $10 less than what I paid. So if anybody wants any of those, there's a few out there right now that are buy it now that are honestly relatively inexpensive considering how much some of them have gone for in the past.
Like what line?
The Happy Meal, the 1985.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple out there right now that if you go search for 1995 Transformers and McDonald's, a couple more have posted since then. I have all these, except for the one that's $300. I don't have that one, but I'm not spending $300 on it
Today.
No.
I'm looking. One of our listeners, one of the people that follow me on Twitter, said Transformer Land got in some card GoBots for their some new stuff. There's a couple there I'm looking at, but I really don't need to be spending the money right now after buying what's behind me and everything. But they got a really nice looking screw head and a nice looking Slicks on card. That would be nice, but I'm going to hold off on them for now, at least till I can get some eBay sales in. I've gotten most all the... I mean, Screwhead is still one of the characters. He's so simple, but I love the way his design looks. But there's not many that I want to get, and most of the ones I do want are towards the end of the line. So not only are they super
toward the
expensive,
line, my Valentine.
Yeah, and there's also they have the hologram stickers, which kind of messes up the card art because the hologramming is included is over the card art, so it's like,
Yeah. Oh, I don't have the blue Bumblebee here, but it's partially melted, so I don't want it. So that's one. I haven't bought that one.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe you should reconsider that because that's like one of a kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just got minor heat damage. That's what I would call that.
Oh, John, I went ahead and declined that that offer.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, I went and declined it for you. So now I remember when John was talking last week about that Transtech Silverbolt artwork that was on sale. The buyer dropped it from what was it, John? $16.99.
Yeah, $1,700.
From $16.99 down to $6.99, and then sent me an offer yesterday for $5.99. So I checked with John to make sure he didn't want it before I declined it. Because I mean that's probably one of a kind piece of artwork for Transtech. It's just I didn't want to decline it without checking with him first.
Yeah, it's a whole different level of collector. For sure.
Be right back.
I know, but it's just I knew you really liked it. And I just figured I better check with him because I mean you could do PayPal credit and get it 6 months same as cash, and you could swing it that way if it's something you really wanted.
All right, keep going, man.
No, I'm just
black
saying,
belt in Dononomics.
No, it's just literally I didn't want to. I was afraid like, oh, by the way, he did this and I declined it. And you'd be like,
no, I get it.
That could have been your dark fire convoy,
Sure. It could have been. No, I appreciate that. There are actually one thing that, again, this is another thing I won't buy. I've mentioned it before, though, on eBay, but just conceptually, it's super neat to me is that they have at least one auction out there that's got like the hand-drawn references for stickers for one of the G.I. Joe bases from back in the day. So, like, the original artists, like, literally, because this was like 40 years ago,
like Caution Exhaust
sketched out the stickers that he wanted applied to the base.
Nice.
Yeah, which is neat. Super neat.
Like Caution, Exhaust, Last Here, all those little stickers they had.
Yeah, it's super neat to think like a guy sat at his drafting table and did them like by hand. Did all those like little kind of innocuous kind of standard things. Like even things like hand drawing and replicating the G.I. Joe logo.
Yeah.
Where that's just a file on your computer now. Like a person had to like a monk, like replicating books hundreds of years ago. It's like somebody has to draw that, or the Cobra logo. Like somebody has to draw that over and over and over.
Well, someone's whole life is devoted to illuminating toys.
Mm-hmm. Looking at how those were designed, though, do you figure there were stencils created for those so that they could be standardized? I was thinking that was probably the case for the Autobot and Decepticon logos too.
Yeah, there'd have to be some standardization, but I think in a lot of cases, especially like when it comes to scaling it, like at some point it's kind of like, well, we're not going to have 60 stencils here. Like at some point somebody's going to have to fudge things by hand. But stuff like that is just kind of super neat when it's tactile like that.
Well, see, that sort of reminds me of what Brian's friend was doing when we were down there for Jolana. Him saving all of the advertisements. Because that was kind of like a highlight. You're going through the sale paper, and boom, Eckerd, which was a drugstore chain, had Transformers for Headmasters for $9.99 or something. And, that's kind of the same thing as we're preserving a lot of this history of the brands that, like you said, it's just a file on a computer now that's sent to a printer. The tactile, the weight of what you're doing is not there anymore when you're doing it like that. At least, to me anyway. But I'll be 50 in 4 days, and I'm old and rambly.
Bye, Matt.
Take care, Matt.
Take care, Matt.
Yeah, no, it's the same way. Traditional animation is it's just a different kind of art. I don't want to minimize CG and all that stuff, and especially like people who almost literally kill themselves to crunch on the latest Toy Story movie or whatnot. But it's different when you're watching like a painting, basically. Like everything you see has been drawn by a human. There's a different kind of magic to it. So,
well, it's sort of like watching Bob Ross do a painting and then watching someone design a painting on a computer. There's no the weight of watching Bob Ross do a picture, of taking a blank canvas and turning it into something, has weight, and you can see the process, and you can appreciate the process. Whereas now it's just you're clicking graphic files and putting it into a template and then shunning it off somewhere to be printed. I'm sure the person doing the work has pride in their work, making these labels or whatever the case may be, but there's no weight of history. It's just a file on a computer somewhere. There's no, like, this is where it came from. This is what it used to be.
Yeah. Video games are kind of like that. I'm sure, Rob, you have thoughts on that, but like preserving video games, especially now that they're mostly digital, is in a lot of ways impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sad.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I was thinking earlier today, like, they're doing the PS5, they're doing the version that's the all digital one, and then one with the disc drive. Like, what do you want to bet that 90% of the discs that they sell in a store is not even going to have software? And it's just going to be a forwarding link to download the digital version to the console.
Yeah, like a gift card kiosk.
Like, that's happened already with modern generation stuff. There's been a small handful of games where the physical version is just a trigger for it to download the digital copy of it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
One of the people I follow on Twitter is Movie Bob, who's a film critic out of Boston. And he's a huge gamer, and he says that there needs to be a national archive. I'm paraphrasing, so if I paraphrase, I'm wrong. I apologize. But there needs to be like a national archive for the history of video games, because it's a very young medium, but it's also completely changed the way the world works since its inception, with Pong and all the stuff around that time period, which kind of makes a little bit of a sense, because I mean, preserve as part of the cultural history of the world, and all this stuff. It's like that video game I saw on Twitter that was the one they found on all those floppy disks, and they recreated it. John, were you or Rob following that story?
Oh, they found Days of Thunder, wasn't it?
Yeah. They basically found that video game across a whole mess of floppies, and they
40
actually
floppies.
they actually recreated the game. If they hadn't done that, again, it's very minor in the terms of history, but it's still an important thing in the history of video games. And I'm not even a gamer. Most all my stuff is retro or plug and play at this point. But it still would be nice to be able to say, like, some museum somewhere 100 years, 200 years in the future, where they have machines running these games that show the history of the evolution of the medium.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And things like, basically at this point, every game can be patched, like at any, basically any week, any day of the week, you could patch a game. And every time they patch any game and publish that, it's a different game. Yeah. So, depending on how complete you want to be with archiving art or things created by humans, each one of those versions of a game is a different game. And so archiving those things is very difficult. And going back and playing specific versions of a game can be practically impossible unless you're the one who decided to not update after version X. So yeah, it's interesting. You have the original version that if it comes out on a disc or physical media, you have that version, and then most people will have the latest update of a game. But everything in between is kind of just up in the air.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of like me. When I was younger, I didn't have a VCR. So I recorded all of the Transformer episodes on the audio tape with a handheld recorder. And then I played them back and listened to them. Again, we didn't have a VCR because they were terribly expensive at the time. But you could buy a handheld tape recorder for a lot less money. And nowadays, like, there was music rights issues, or there was, stuff going on. So I'm sure some of my audio tapes have music that you can't get anymore. I did that for a lot of stuff, not just Transformers. It's like there's a show, I mentioned this before, it was a Scholastic show, My Secret Identity, with Jerry O'Connell. The opening refers to him as Ultraman, but I can never pronounce the name of the company that does Ultraman.
Tubaraya.
Thank you. They actually had Scholastic change the name because they were calling him Ultraman. And so I have somewhere on those tapes, I have that original opening, which didn't exist past the first half season or something. And so, that's kind of the same thing. I've probably got stuff on VHS recorded that has music that you couldn't get the rights to. It's like Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. For all of its faults, it did have Once a Ranger, but they couldn't use that. They couldn't use the Mighty Morphin music at that time due to rights issues. So they had to make a new theme for Adam when he was the Black Ranger. But if you had recorded it earlier when it came on, you would have, that doesn't exist anymore. So
just basically anything with licensed music, if it gets re-released, total crapshoot if it's going to have any of that left in it.
Well, and between broadcast and home video releases, Malcolm in the Middle is a good example because there was a lot of music in the original broadcast versions that had to be licensed separately for home video format, so they changed a lot of that show's soundtrack and, took away most of the character of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a shame. Brian, the WWE Network is big into that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Things do not sound like I remembered.
You can't watch an ECW show without just sort of cringing. And of course, or a Jim Crockett show, because they didn't license music, they just used music. Yeah. Enter Sandman, or the Sandman without Enter Sandman really sucks. He's just some drunk. I have a recording somewhere of their of the 2005 show they did, One Night Stand, and it is so awesome. Unless you watch it on the WWE Network, then it is horrible.
Man, it's good times.
Yeah. So the Joe figures, 3 of them, are on Amazon, tfradio.net/Amazon, and they'll ship in a couple of days. I am so considering just canceling my pre-orders on these and just not getting them. They just do nothing for me.
Well, let me ask y'all guys this: did y'all see the pictures of the Cobra Commander?
Yeah, I vaguely want to get the gaudy dress uniform Cobra Commander variant. That's probably going to be the network app exclusive, but I also don't want to do anything with the network app.
I know,
but it's so ridiculous and over the top, and I kind of love it.
Well, is it like Resolute flavored from what he was wearing in Resolute,
Kinda.
or is it something?
I don't know that it's directly inspired by Resolute, but it looks similar.
It just doesn't. It's just not Cobra Commander in that outfit. I mean, I was hoping for, the traditional regular outfit with either the cloth face covering or the helmet. One of the two. But this is just very strange for a Cobra Commander.
I think I'm just going to cancel these. I just don't care.
I don't blame you, Brian. I mean, if it's not doing anything for you, that's $60 you can put towards something else.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got the Snake Eyes, I think the Snake Eyes looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's, I'll probably get a couple. But again, like with Transformers, some of my characters are, Shipwreck is pretty popular. Fast Draw, no one ever knows who Fast Draw is. Bazooka, I'd probably buy Bazooka just because it's Bazooka.
The bubblegum character?
No,
Bazooka Joe.
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah,
Bazooka
Joe.
Bazooka when he saw a sea serpent.
But if I'm going to buy any of these, I'll regret not getting
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what are they based on?
Various things.
G.I. Joe.
No, the G.I. Joe. These G.I. Joe figures, right? That
Nothing in particular.
That is what kills it for me. because I don't know what they're like. I don't know what they're going for. And it's just kind of a blend of everything.
I think they're inspired by a couple of different comics that are artists, but no one unifying thing. Yeah,
that is why I can't go for it.
Yeah. There's we didn't mention it, but that retro line will be interesting. I hope they're not just dumbed down. Like, I hope they are better than what we got back in the early 2000s. That I don't want to call it a reissue because it wasn't straight up reissues.
It was like an anniversary line, wasn't it?
Well, the one that came with the comics and stuff. Back the ones that were the original O-ring Real American Heroes figures with different paint apps and stuff. You get them at Walmart. I don't remember the name of the line though. I don't know that it had a line, but was
it Valor versus Venom or Spy Troops?
No, Spy Troops those were new molds. Valor versus Venom I thought was new molds as well. This was I'll tell you. The quality on those figures were a little iffy. So G.I. Joe versus Cobra? There's 3 packs.
The 3 packs.
There were the quality on those some of those were okay, but I would want something a little better than that. But I figured what we would get would be a little worse than that in a retro line. To be honest.
I forgot about Valor versus Venom. Now that I look at the packaging, I totally remember it though.
Yes, G.I. Joe was a lot of
Spy
G.I.
Troops
crap.
was more interesting.
There's a lot of crap back then with G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those figures are very, very iffy.
Yeah, I don't know when when that new Cobra Commander came up on Twitter and people were I don't know if they were raving about it, but it was positively received. I don't know. I mean, it sure is a take on Cobra Commander. So
I want to straight up V1, V2 Cobra Commander. I don't want to, Resolute Cobra Commander.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Now, if this Joe line does take off, people are going to be wanting, vehicles to go with these figures, and it's like there's no way they can make figures. There's no way they can do figures for these size figures.
Well, they could. They're just not going to.
Well,
I
can't see it being affordable.
Yeah.
They could do like a pod. They could do like the single driver vehicles.
Yeah. Like a vamp, something like something simple like a vamp or the motorcycle or the coastal defender.
I wonder if they could just scale up some of those vehicles that they still have the
like
molds
the Trouble
for.
Bubble. That's what I was thinking.
Well, the Trouble Bubble, there's quite a bit there, but like the vamp would be easy.
Yeah, that's true. If they do a Serpentor, they could do his chariot.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you think if Serpentor comes out in a wave, do you think his chariot would be like the Build-A-Figure thing across the 4?
Could be.
If they did it like that.
I feel like that's one that they would kind of. I mean, they don't have to do any of it. But if you're going to do one, I mean, Serpentor and his chariot is kind of a thing.
Yeah, like Zaymont and Tomax. I'd have you a twin pack. I can see them doing like for the aim.
Well, is that done? I lost you.
How good it wasn't just me.
So,
Well, we might have lost Don.
Oh, here's a Cobra Commander I do not remember. Version 23. Oh. God, there's a lot of Cobra Commanders came out between 2005 and 2012. This is
They put a lot of effort into a deadline over the years. They really have tried, technically speaking. Attempts were made.
Yeah, so that line was just labeled G.I. Joe. It wasn't. I'm looking at it now. By year, we'll say 2004. Oh no, we'll say 2005. That's some Valor versus Venom crap too. Okay, comic book 3-packs. Like the Stalker here. It's from a 3-pack.
Ah.
But I mean, you look at it, the paint apps are simplistic. It's the old mold. I'd want something a little better than that, but not all the way to the 25th anniversary with the retro figures. Hey, people watching live, I think I'm going to kill the stream. And we'll be back next week. Hey, post show's over. Thanks for being here. We love you.